Alright, welcome back to another PC Classic Cars test drive video. Today we are in the 94 SVT Cobra 505 speed, and this one has the Powerdyne supercharger on it. Let it warm up here a little bit. Kick the air on. So this is actually one of those cars that I've owned previously. I sold it a couple of years ago to a customer here in Texas. Before that, I bought it from a customer that had it for quite some time. Great thing about this car is we have all the SVT paperwork for it, and then we actually have kind of a build list of all the stuff that was done in the early part of the car's life. That's when all of the modifications were done. Like I mentioned a second ago, it is a real Cobra. The 5-liter that's in it is the original motor, but it has a set of aftermarket aluminum heads, and then it has the Powerdyne supercharger on it as well. It's got a lot of nice suspension components that have been added. You have your 4-wheel disc brakes. This car, 36,000 mile car, runs and drives absolutely excellent. The supercharger's kind of on a conservative setup. It runs really, really well, but it's nothing crazy high horsepower. Just a really cool kind of late 90s period correct modified Cobra. Again, 36,255 miles. It is a clean Carfax, no accidents, no damage ever reported. Miles line up and are true and accurate on the car. As far as some cosmetic modifications, obviously it has the SVE gold wheels on it. They look really nice on the car. It's been lowered a little bit. It has a lowering spring in the front. The ride is still very comfortable. It doesn't beat you to death at all. Still a very, very comfortable ride. Cosmetically, the hood has obviously been changed. It has a 96 model hood on it. You get a little bit more of an aggressive style with the 96 hood. Kind of a personal preference deal. I believe the car to be mostly original paint other than the hood. The bumpers might have been repainted. I've had it happen before where the bumpers fade a little bit different and they get a little bit darker. This car definitely has that, where the rear bumper and also the lower side skirts are a little bit darker. I'd have to do a little bit more investigative work to see if they had been repainted or if it's just faded a little different than the rest of the car. I've seen it happen both ways, where it's been painted and they're darker, and they also fade and they get a little bit darker as well. So I'd have to check on that for y'all. But overall, the cosmetics look good with just some minor little touch-ups and little flaws here and there. Being a 94, it still is very, very clean. And it's what you'd expect for a 36,000 mile car. Underneath, rock solid, no issues on the bottom side whatsoever. Very, very clean. Again, kind of what you'd expect on a 36,000 mile car to look like on the bottom side. It's warmed up here a little bit. We'll kind of get on it a little harder on our trip back. Really well. These cars stock they're kind of heavy cars, and they tend to be a little bit of a slouch, but with the supercharger and all the stuff that's done to this one, it runs really, really well. And And if you've watched our videos, you kind of know I'm partial to these 94, 95 Cobras. I actually really like these cars. I've bought and sold a bunch of them. The Rio Red is a really good combo with this tan leather. And again, I really like all the modifications that are done to this particular Cobra. We get a lot of stock ones. We do not get a lot of modified ones. And then this car, being that it was one that I've owned before, I had no problem bringing it back. Once the guy that we sold it to, he was done with it, had his fun, and sold it back to us. So I love getting cars back like that, especially one like this that's just not something that I normally get, a modified Cobra. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Air blows nice and cold. All of your lights, all your gauges, your horn, your wipers, the aftermarket stereo, all that stuff works on the car. It does have an aftermarket boost gauge over here in the A-pillar. You also have your Bluetooth speaker up here at the top corner of the windshield. Interior is very clean. If you know these cars or you follow these cars, you know that the leather doesn't hold up all that well. This one's in really nice shape. You have some normal wear cracking on the driver's seat here, but it's really minimal, and the seat is still really nice and comfortable. Just your, again, normal Cobra wear that these leather seats got. There is a little cutout on the center console here right next to your knee. I don't know if there was like an amp gauge or something, excuse me, or something else mounted there at one point. There's a little square notched in and 4 little holes drilled. Again, I don't know what was mounted there. They had some aftermarket component there at some point. But the rest of the interior is really nice and clean. The glass is all really nice. The driver's side window tint here, there's like a little scuff in the window tint right on the inside corner of the glass. Nothing to write home about. It's pretty minimal. You do have a little tint strip on the top of the windshield, but the windshield itself is really nice. No stone chips, no wiper marks. The power windows and power locks all work like they should. The headliner and the visors are really nice and clean. Has the correct Cobra mats, nice carpet. So overall, the interior is really nice. And then we're on our bumpy road here. With our lowered suspension, you'd kind of tend to expect a little bit of a rougher ride. This car still runs and drives down this road really well. Still a very comfortable cruising car. I hate when you lower one too much and it just beats you to death. This one, still a really comfortable ride, like I just mentioned. Nice headers, dual exhaust, Flowmaster sound really good. And it's like 100 degrees here in Texas today, and that AC is a definite must. And it is blowing really nice and cold. Car is a little loud, so we won't get on it too hard to upset the neighbors. Overall, this is one of my favorite 94, 95 Cobras that we've had. I've had some really low mileage, black on black ones with the black cloth. That would probably be my favorite 94, 95 Cobra that we've ever had. But this one's right behind it due to the fact that it's got the modifications that are so period correct for the late 90s. It's just a really unique, cool Cobra that you just don't see. And then it's got great miles, 36,260 miles on it. I always like stuff that's different. We do so many Fox bodies that this is the next best thing after the Fox bodies. Y'all watch our videos, you know I talk about Fox bodies, how many of those that we sell, and I like the stuff that's a little bit later, personally. So this car really fits in my wheelhouse of what I like. All right, last couple turns here, we'll head back to the shop. As always, I really appreciate you guys stopping in to watch another one of my test drive videos. If there's ever anything else that you want to see, comments, concerns, suggestions, leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. Call or text me at 903-820-1019. Follow us on our brand new website at pcclassiccars.com. And if you don't already follow us on our socials, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and it's always the same handle, PC Classic Cars. Again, I appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll see you guys on the next test drive video.